Peace, world. What's good? My name is Wood. Thanks for checking out another Pay Me No Mind video, some TV talk. We come to the conclusion of a limited series over on Apple TV Plus with the last days of Ptolemy Gray, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Dominique Fishback, Walton Goggins, Omar Benson Miller, pretty much your primary characters. And it's only 6 episodes. And like I said, watching the 6th and final episode last night was kind of sad because you only had so many. It's a limited series, but I think the series is better than the finale, the 6th episode. If you watch TV, you get a feeling for what's going on with these shows, the speed, the pacing, and what it's trying to accomplish, and what it has to accomplish as it gets down to the last hour, some of these finales. It's always dope when if the shows have been 48 minutes, 52 minutes or whatever, and then you get to a finale and they bump it up to like 68 minutes or 70 minutes or something. That's a win. But here, they pretty much just stayed with under an hour, and you knew what we had to, accomplish, or what they had to accomplish with the 6th episode, and they gave you a glimpse of it in the opening to the show when he was sitting at the table in that burgundy suit with the gun, and somebody was knocking at the door. So we kind of knew where we were headed all along. And my question after watching the 5th episode, my question was like, how far into the future are we going to get, a look at? And I don't know. I don't think they, I thought they did the best that they could do. But, the brother's name I couldn't think of last week was Alfred, the boyfriend of Nina. The name of the 5th episode was Nina, Reggie's widow. And, that was my one complaint about the show. I really didn't care for how, I didn't think it was really believable, the relationship between Nina and Alfred. And I know, I know the value of Black lives in law enforcement, the issues with investigations, or homicides and whatnot. I understand that there's not always a lot of resources thrown at solving some of these crimes. But this was oversimplified to me. Damn, if you just ask a few questions, you understand. Everybody knew who did it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess for the police not to care whatsoever, like I said, I think they oversimplified that. If the woman, if the spouse has a violent boyfriend or former boyfriend who multiple people know he's been creating problems in the relationship, and that the husband feels threatened by the presence of this other person, with just a couple of questions, you at least have a person of interest. And then this 91-year-old man, he spends one afternoon asking some questions around the crime scene or the murder scene, and finds out, who did it. And we knew who did it for a few episodes. So, like I said, but even beyond that, everybody in the family was just okay with Nina. We talking about less than a month. We talking about maybe 2.5 weeks. And Alfred is driving this man's truck around. And I think she had one kid with Alfred, one kid with Reggie, I think. But he's living in whatever home they had, he's living in that. And then, Nina herself damn, I understand, if a woman is trapped in a relationship that she, and she can't get out of, but that's really something for you to just allow the person that killed your husband he just knocks on the door and you just let him in and he just sets up shop. And now you go forward as this happy couple or this couple with a miserable, I don't know. I didn't really care for that part of it. But like I said, when you only have 6 episodes or really a portion of 6 episodes to even deal with that, what can you really do with it? So that's how they chose to do it. So on and so forth. The other thing that we had here is obviously Ptolemy takes care of Alfred pretty quickly, pretty early in the episode. They had their confrontation. Ptolemy sets it up so that he can record the confession. His plan has a little hiccup. His memory is going in and out, what he's supposed to do. The Hernandez guy that he asked to signal him with the horn, I didn't really understand. I didn't kind of understand what the significance of that was, unless he called himself creating an amount of noise that was going to be louder than the gunshot. I don't know. Interestingly, we see Alfred goes back out into the street after being shot in the chest or the sternum. The woman who had been coming around, who was bullying Ptolemy earlier in the episodes 1 and 2, she comes out of nowhere. She's been absent for quite a few days, but she comes out of nowhere and takes this brother's watch off of him and his chain or something as he's bleeding out. Interesting that they chose to do that. And then Ptolemy ends up going to to be put into some kind of institution where he's restrained to his bed at all times. His mind has gone now. He's back to him old self. We don't get any real resolution with Dr. Rubin. He just made a brief appearance in this episode. And then we go to kind of resolving the financial situation. And the family, you see Hilly tries to get dressed up, cuts his hair and looks presentable, throws on a suit, and they try to go in here with their lawyer to be able to get the money get full access to the money that they're aware of, and go against the last will and testament of Ptolemy. One other thing that Ptolemy went and did to try to thwart that effort is he goes and sits down with this, I'm guessing she was, some kind of psychologist or whatever, some authority, and does this interview with her to leave this video to convince them that, yeah, he was down bad for several years, but like, why wouldn't he have just told him go get Dr. Rubin and talk about this, the medication and the injections and whatnot? Why not have him come and speak on it? But he just does this video that they watch, and the lawyer for Nisi and Hilly try to dispute it. The judge has this one-on-one, or the magistrate, whatever she is, mediator. She has a one-on-one discussion with Robin, who, has her hair down, looks way more presentable. And although I think she's 18, it sounds like maybe she started college. I don't understand why she's so into astronomy. Ain't no money in astronomy. Ain't no real money in astronomy. But when you have, millions of dollars that you're the trustee of and whatnot, I guess you don't have to have a career that has a lot of money involved in it. That was a little out there for me. But she talks about, she's going to school. She has X amount of years to get her degree. Then she plans on going to graduate school. She tells the judge that an incident that happened with her as a John, for her mother, who was a prostitute, tried to assault her, and she was cut. And, she gives the judge a bit of her history. Anyway, they get through that. They go outside, and Niecy and it seems like the judge has found in favor of letting Robin remain the executor or the trustee over the money, and she'll oversee the payments, you know, going to the family and whatnot. And then she's supposed to set up some kind of foundation to help, you know, young black entrepreneurs or whatever. But then they go outside and have this confrontation, and, you know, it's a moment to try to talk it out and get the lawyers out of it. You can keep paying this man part of your money, trying to win this because they feel like they're their blood, and they're convinced in their mind too. Niecy is convinced. We didn't see any of this on camera. We didn't see any of this in the telling of the story. We didn't see anything that suggests that Niecy came over to the house and tried to help Ptolemy. You know, at some point they gave up, and maybe it was, you know, he was 91 years old. Maybe it was 15 years where they had, you know, they visited and did something. We weren't shown any of that though, but we know in the times when he needed them the most, they just abandoned the man and allowed him to live over there in squalor and you know, not being just below basic quality of life or living standards. And so now to sit here and think that you should be owed something more than what's been set aside for you is, you know, I guess that's what we do. But like I said, we don't know what Niecy does. We don't know if she had a job. Hilly doesn't look gainfully employed. We really didn't get you know, much development on those two. But anyway, after this embrace, you know, Robin just tells her, look, I don't really want the money. I'm working for mine. And I'm willing to put in the work to be mine. But she's like, but Ptolemy asked me to do this. Just like Ptolemy was asked by Coy Dog to do what he asked him to do. And she's like, I'm just trying to honor, you know, what he requested. And that's the most that I can do for the man, and how much I came to love him and our relationship and what he thought of me. I'm just trying to do right by that. You don't have to worry about me trying to cheat you and whatnot. But that's not good enough for Niecy. She wants it all her way, you know, and they have this embrace. And it seems like maybe Niecy can hear Robin out on this and go along with it. But she's like, look, you have to do what you have to do. And I had to continue fighting for what I believe is right. So that's where they leave off with that. The other thing, then we get a reunion of, you know, Robin she wasn't able to see, the family was able to get her barred from seeing Ptolemy for several months after the shooting and the killing of Alfred. So she finally gets to go visit him and just show, you know, let him know how much their time together, how it got her out on the right footing and got her going down a certain path in her life now. And, you know, they just have some warm words between them to kind of bring their relationship to a closure. And I think that's about it. So, like I said, I was concerned that the sixth and final episode might not have a ton of resolution or I don't know, big moments or whatever. It just kind of brought the show to an end. And like I said, we already kind of knew what we knew. Only thing I didn't know if Ptolemy Gray was gonna actually pass away in the story. He might as well though. I mean, living strapped to a bed in a room full of strangers and whatnot. But But, you know, I guess he could find some solace in the fact that he carried out something that he should have done, you know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago and whatnot. And he gets to impact his family who may not have deserved it, but he did right by them. And like he told Coy Dog, you know, your treasure stayed a treasure. Versus, you know, that the blooms and whatnot could have stayed buried in the floorboards of that apartment forever, and all the stuff that he had in the banks and all of that stuff. Who knows how long that would have went on undiscovered before anybody contacted. Who even knows how his affairs were in order, where if he hadn't have gotten this 3 or 4 weeks with all of his faculties and whatnot, who knows where things could have went had it not been for him doing this deal with the devil and taking the medication from Dr. Rubin. So I don't know, man. Like, you know, I would like to see where people are here, where people are with the show, and, you know, the thoughts on it. I thought some good performances from mostly everybody that was involved, you know, especially relative to the size of the role that they had. But you know, good showing for Dominique Fishback. Solid showing for Samuel L. Jackson. The role was kind of in his wheelhouse. Good work from Walter Mosley. And, you know, and shout out to you know, to Samuel L. Jackson and his wife for putting a project together, you know, taking it from the source that they got it from and bringing it to fruition. You know, that's not an easy thing to do. I am interested, moving off of that though, I am interested in what goes on or this new Josh Brolin project that Apple has, Outer Range, I think is the name of it. It's about a ranch out in Wyoming, it looks like. Some big hole that might lead to another dimension or another world or something, or an alternate world, if you will. So I want to see what that's about. Like I said, some of these, with all of these different streaming platforms that are out there, it's just interesting to sit back and watch which actors, you know, are able to go out here and get certain pet projects or certain stories told that they would like to do, and to see how these streamers, you know, how they pick and choose what projects they're going to green light and offer to their, you know, their subscribers and whatnot. So that's that. I think that was all I wanted to mention. Like I said, I give him all the credit in the world. I thought it was a legit series. I'll just leave it at that. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. My name is Wood. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.